Hey there, this is Doug.
This is Pat.
Welcome back. So today we have a show we've been waiting to do since we actually started this, which is called the Blindfold test. So we played Les Pauls of all different years and all the different models. And we've got a lot of feedback from everybody. We're going to revisit the humbucking guitars, the Sunburst Les Pauls and the Gold Top and all that, plus a couple more. But this time, we're going to do it, and they're not going to know which guitar is going to be played.
Top secret stuff.
And we're going to give you an opportunity to guess. Now this is an open book blindfold test. That means that we've actually already played 3 of those guitars, and the 3 that we played are the Sunburst Les Paul, the Gold Top with humbuckings, and the Heritage back in the first show. So you can go back, you can listen to that show, and get familiar with them, and remember what they sound like. In this show, I'm going to be in a secret room, and I'm going to be playing the guitars, and Pat and our special guest from Portland, Bob Stahl, who owns Guitar Crazy here, he is going to be joining us, and they're going to make comments about what they hear, just exactly like you guys. Some of the comments we're going to talk about are going to be, what's that wood sound, that woody sound? Is it old wood? That initial string contact, that presency sound when that pick hits the string. And then we've got the way that chords sound together, that harmonic thing, that magical thing that it does, vibratos, all that stuff.
That magic tone in the vibrato where it changes tone.
Changes tone. Let's see the guitars that we're going to do. We'll revisit those now. What do we got up first, Pat?
Well, we will revisit the 1958 Gold Top Les Paul. Of course, patent applied for pickups. This guitar is all original and has smaller frets, rosewood fingerboard. You heard it on the first video, and I believe on maybe the second video for a little bit too.
Or on the Les Paul custom one,
right,
I think, yeah.
Right.
It seems to be the fave right now.
So far, so far.
Second guitar is going to be revisiting again the 1960 Les Paul Standard, also known as Sunburst Les Paul. Faded sunburst finish on it. All original guitar. We've heard this guy before. Heavy hitter here. What else we got?
This is a custom-made guitar by a guy named Gary Hines here in the Portland area. This guitar has a real nice curly maple top. I don't know if you can see it on there.
Beautiful.
And
great
actual
sunburst finish on it.
Yeah, Brazilian rosewood fingerboard.
Holly veneer.
Holly veneer headstock. This pickup is a Seymour Duncan Seth Lover pickup. And
so this guy is just like a really, really, really top-end Les Paul. It has markings in the guitar so that it can't be mistaken for an old guitar. So security first, but this is a nice guitar. Fourth guitar, we're revisiting the 1994 Heritage H150. This guitar also has a nice top on it. Played this guitar in the first show. And it has the WCR Crossroads pickup in the bridge. So probably all these guitars can sound pretty good. But we got one more.
this is a late 70s Tokai, Japanese-made guitar.
What are you saying?
It is actually...
It's got custom pickups in it, though.
No, this is the stock Japanese pickups. This is the Love Rock guitar.
Love Rock. We do.
Love Rock.
Wow.
You know, it's in pretty good shape. It's got a nice feel to the neck. Rosewood fingerboard, of course. All these guitars are thick body Les Pauls, so we're not comparing SG thin body guitars with humbucking pickups. They all have about the same body mass to them. They've all got a tune-o-matic type bridge as opposed to the wraparound tailpiece.
It's a Les Paul standard.
It's a Les Paul standard.
Well, let me ask you this, Pat. So this guitar, this 60 Sunburst Les Paul, very, very valuable guitar. Looks a lot like that guitar. This guitar has to be worth half the money that this guitar
About
is worth.
half. If that's a $300,000 guitar, this has got to be worth $150,000.
That's a deal.
Yeah.
Well, the bad news, though, really would be 5 guitars, blindfold test, We're gonna post it, and in a couple weeks, depending on how many comments we get, we want to hear from you guys. What guitar do you think is what? You really are going to need to listen to this because we've got a Tokai in here. Could be the winner.
Could be.
Could be.
Could be.
Let's get on with it. Let's have a word with Bob, and then we'll get on with the plan.
Okay, let's have it.
Okay, we're here with Bob Stoll, is what we talked about, and he owns Guitar Crazy here in Portland. Got any sort of, there you go. You can get the shirts from Bob for, is it still $50, $60? Or?
Oh no, it's much less than that.
Very good.
Much,
Get home.
much less.
Guitar Crazy, great store. We go in there all the time when he's open, which is not that much more because he's mainly online now, aren't you?
Office by appointment.
Oh, very good. So we're talking about the Les Pauls and the sounds we're going to hear. We made a little list right here that we're going to be reading off of about talk about the wood and all that stuff. Bob, you got anything to add to that you're?
To the list?
Yeah.
Oh, probably many things, but none come to mind
Okay.
right now.
Well, maybe as we're playing them, they'll come to
I
you.
believe they will.
Okay.
Like a fountain.
Okay.
Bob is a longtime Portland area guitar player, and he has owned several Sunburst Les Pauls. He's owned just about every kind of guitar that has ever been made and sold them.
Just about.
Just about, and is also an excellent player with
Oh, well, thank you, Pat.
pretty good tone. He can hear things pretty good too for his age.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
I guess we're going to find out.
yeah, we'll see.
Are we ready, gentlemen?
Let's give it a shot.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
To me, it was real tight sounding, and real ballsy sounding, real crisp on the top end too. So,
Really?
how'd you hear that?
I didn't hear it as what I would describe as crisp on the top end. There was a little bit of bite, and it was almost fat, but plenty fat, and had a rich, smoky interior.
There you go. There you go.
You can't say that on the Doug and Pat show. Who do you think you are?
seemed a little hotter, but not. I don't. When I say hotter than number one, I don't mean louder.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed a bit more edgy, but not brighter.
Right. It seemed crisp to me, and you know, at the point of attack of the strings, it just seemed real crisp and real sharp sounding. And it had a pretty decent bottom end to it again. So
Yeah, weren't bad.
yes,
Was it smoky?
I don't know.
No, that one was not smoky. That was perhaps more woody.
You can't say woody, Bob. This is the Doug and Pat show.
Oh. You first.
That one I really like the high end on, and it just seemed to me when he vibrato those notes, it had that characteristic, you know, where they change the tone, change the sound of that, almost a wah-wah effect to it, so to speak. And I thought it had a real woody sound on the bottom end too.
He said woody.
Thanks, Bob.
For me, in the first half, it was a little more spongy,
Ah,
a little more compressed, but not with a compressor. And when he was playing in the upper registers, it did seem a little brighter, but very much like number two did for me.
uh-huh.
And defined.
I liked the beat, and I thought it was easy to dance to.
I give it a 10.
Give it a 10.
A little brighter, but not in a shrill way. Maybe a hair less output, and sweet. If I was going to pick one of these four to play in a large band with, this would be the one because it would stick out more.
It did. It did have a sweet sound to it, a sweet spot to it, and you know, the highs were high enough and the lows were low enough. Well, it sounded great. I thought a little bit muddier on the bottom end than I care for, but I really like the mid-rangey sound to it.
I found it fatter on the low end, brighter on the high end. Not necessarily either of those better than
Right.
the other, because most of us know that fatter is not always better,
Well,
and brighter is not always better. But it was good. But it seemed to have more top and bottom end than the last four.
I thought the chords sounded real good to it. Also, it was real full, real fast.
But I do want to add that that doesn't make me like it more than the others. So, but that's.
You guys want to take a guess as to which one was which? No, we're not going to do that and spoil it for people. Heck. All right. Thanks, Bob, for coming around.
You're welcome. It's a privilege and an honor to be here on the Doug and Pat show. And thank you so much for the fine trailer, and the buffet was
Your makeup looks great, by
Thank
the
you.
way. Just
Thank you.
unbelievable. Okay, guys, you've heard them all, heard all five. Now, all we're asking you to do is guess which ones are which. Either post it on the comments in YouTube or send us an email. And you only have to get 2 of them right, not 5. Just guess 2 of the guitars right, and you'll win a prize. Although I don't really know what the prize would be, but I think I had a dream about that.
I had a dream too!
Pat, in my dream, I see us wearing the Doug and Pat Show t-shirts, but what are they going to look like?
Doug, I had a vision. They'll look like us.
Whoa! This is it! This is what you win. The first 20 of you who can guess 2 of them right get an official Doug and Pat Show t-shirt with the logo on the front and the logo on the back. Show them, Pat. Well, there it is! There it is! All right. So send them in. Only need to get 2 of them. Now, down to some business. We're interested in trying different types of PAF pickups in the guitars. Any of the companies that make them, we've already talked to Lawler and Duncan, any of them that want to send us a couple pickups, we're not buying them. We'll send them back. If you got the balls to go up against the 58 and the 60, we'll demo them. Any of the guitars you want us to demo in, but not the original
Not
ones,
the
right?
original ones. No, we're not going to do that.
No, we're not going to do that. So, We want to hear from those companies. And lastly, I know we're running long, we got to go. Joe Bonamassa, Pat saw him at the NAMM show. Joe said that he would like to come on the Doug and Pat show, and you know, we would just love to see him when he's in town in April. Joe has a Firebird 1 that was loaned to him by a guy in the Northwest here,
Some guy
I
in the
think.
Northwest, yeah.
Yeah, what did he say about that guitar?
He just said it's the guitar that changed his life.
What else could
Oh.
change his life?
Well-
How about this? There's another one right there. Bring yours. Play it against this one. Bring your Sunburst. Come on the Doug and Pat show. Guys, email Joe and tell him you want to see him on the Doug and Pat show. Okay. Good seeing you. Send in your guesses.
Soon.